Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Today I would like to show you how you can make from a little leftover that you might have from your curtains a nice cushion. The cushion is going to look exactly like this. We have one and the same material, but this darker looking part is only being the material turned to the left side over. We will have this lovely little loop on here, and we have a zipper in the bottom, so you at any time can change the cushion to put it in the wash or to put a different thicker or thinner cushion inside if you like to change that. This little loop you do not have to do, also that I will show to you, as it also looks nice without this loop. And because of this hidden zipper that we got in the bottom, you can also use this cushion as a plain cushion from the other side. So why don't we let's get going now sewing, and you can see how easy it is to do those special nice, we call them letter corners. I haven't looked up yet in English what this means, but it's like an envelope. It's an envelope corner, how to exactly do that. So I hope you enjoyed my video. I hope you give me some nice comments after you watched it. And I hope you like to make yourself such a nice cushion as well. Let's get going. To make this 40 by 40 centimeter cushion, you first of all have to cut yourself two even pieces 42 by 42 centimeters wide, because of the seam that will go away all the way around. So for the 40 centimeter cushion you need to cut your two main pieces 42 centimeters all the way around. Then you need a long stripe for the bottom if you have not so much material, and you need another stripe for this end and two little stripes for all those sides. All stripes are 10 centimeters wide, and this little one you have to cut 2 centimeters longer than the space that you do have, because we will have to make a 1 centimeter seam here and a 1 centimeter seam here, the same on this side. If you have enough material, you can also cut this frame in one piece, exactly again 42 by 42 by 42 centimeters, and then cut the inside out so that you would have 10 centimeters all the way around standing on your frame. And you will need one zipper in the length approximately of your inner measurement here, and if you wish you can cut a very long stripe and make a little loop out of it. Now take one of your big pieces and first of all iron all the way around on one of those pieces 5 centimeters over, as you can see it here. Then take your little pieces which we cut 10 centimeters wide and stitch the short seams together, and you can finish with your overlock or zigzag machine right away those inner edges of the material clean. And then you can just briefly put all those three parts on top of each other, and you can see, or should see, that this frame more or less fits exactly on top of your ironed over piece, and that your edges will also all be even when it's all lying flat together. That is the most important preparations you have to do in the beginning. The first two corners I prepared already now, as I did this video also in German. And as you can see, I cleaned off with my overlock my edge all the way around. But now I show you on those two corners how to do this particular corner. You got your ironed edge here. Fold the ironed edge on top of each other. They got to be identically together. Here you have your point of the corner exactly going in the corner. But that you can only do like that if you really ironed all the way around the same amount of centimeters. In my case, as I told you, I ironed it 5 centimeters over. Now you take a right angle and draw from your corner where the ironed over edges meet, you draw a line exactly in the right angle. I take a pen here because I think you can see this better as if I would choose my white pen. And now you start exactly where you did your line there. Go back and forth and iron into your edge. Make sure not to stitch too tight into this corner because then the corner will pull in. Now before you cut this down, check the corner approximately if you're satisfied with it before we cut everything out. That's the way it should be lying there without even preparing the inside. But that I do right away now, after I see that it's correct or the way I wish to have it. In your case, when you know that's nice, that's how I want it, then do the cutting and then finish off the corner nicely. In a moment I will iron all these seams inside apart, but that's how your corner should be. So let me show you once again. The right side is facing you. Put your ironed edge on top of your ironed edge here into the corner. Because you got 5 centimeters ironed over everywhere, that's why this is very even. This would be different as an example if you do this particular corner on a sleeve. On sleeves, this will not be 5 and 5 centimeters, the seams. That's why it needs to be done differently. But I might show that in a different video when I do sleeves for you. Then take your right ankle again, put it exactly here on the line. I hope you can see this well. Don't do your drawing too close into the corner, otherwise it will pull. And make yourself a line in that right angle from there on. And go along with the machine and stitch into your corner. Check again before you cut it out, because you maybe done it too tight or not tight enough, and then you say, okay, phew, God, did I do that good? Clap yourself on the shoulder if you wish. Cut this out, and now we go to the iron board and iron those little seams apart, and I show you the result, what it looks like then. Here you see the particular part now being ironed over. Nice flat the corners. So we can first of all lay this piece aside, as we got to continue with our frame, as I called it. As I mentioned before, the little seams that I got there are stitched up already. Now I take my zipper and I must make the decision on which side of my 4 inner sides I like to stitch this on. As I'm using here an endless zipper, I stitched over the beginning and the end of the zipper once with the machine to make sure not to lose the slider from the zipper. Now I put this zipper right side down and exactly 1 centimeter away from my cut edge material. I have now a special zipper foot on my machine, which is actually a half foot, that makes me able to stitch quite tight along the zipper. And here you can see again, right side is facing the right side, zipper right side, and the right side from the material. Now I did not stitch all the way from the beginning from the zipper, as there's a space, you saw that, and I also finished earlier than not stitching all the way through to the end. Now I'm checking, when I fold my zipper over, that my zipper edge is exactly even with the edge of my cut material, as that is necessary, as later on it has to fit into or together with my middle part. Now you got to be brave. This is a similar cut like you would do as if you're making pockets. You have to do a cut on both sides exactly onto your first or your last stitch of that seam that you've just done. Now you check this, that you didn't cut too far or not far enough. Put the zipper inside and stitch this over, because if it's stitched over, you don't need to iron anything, and it will, no matter if you iron this thing or what you do with the cushion, it will always stay exactly in position. At the moment I still have my half zipper foot on, which I have to change, of course, in a moment now, but for this particular seam it's all right and I can use it. So just go all the way along there and put this seam really flat down onto this zipper. Here we go. Now we got to take our middle part and put it on top, or you can put it this way down. The left side is facing you at the moment, right side is down. Now take your frame, and there again the left side is facing you. Now it's your choice if you want to take some pins and pin it all the way around, all those four sides, exactly edge on edge together, or you do as I do, put it in the exact position, grab the two materials that you got there and just go along. You don't need to go back and forwards at the beginning or at the end, but just stitch these four sides now edge on edge together, so they're really lying flat. And the reason why I'm saying you don't need to go back and forth, because later on from the right side we will stitch correctly over. But after you've done one side, you can once turn it over, turn it around, and have a look if this is really lying flat. Rather always check your jobs that you've done over after every seam, because that helps you not having to open up so many seams if you've done something wrong. That's why I always like to check. I do a seam and I check. The same here. I've done two. I see, is it lying flat? Is it the way I want it? Is it even? Yes. Okay, then I can do my third side and as well the last side that I got to do here. But I got to do this all the way around. It is only a preparation for my next job. It is not the finished seam that I'm doing here. And therefore, you don't need to stitch into the corners. That would be quite difficult to go around the corner, because the corners are being held later when we stitch it all the way through from the right side, which you will see in a moment. So this is my last side I got to do, and it doesn't matter on which particular part you're sewing. If you're sewing on the frame part, or in my case you can see I'm stitching on top of the inner part at this particular moment. So in the moment you got all those four sides done, check again. Is it the way you like it? Are you satisfied with your job? And turn it around again and look what it looks like from the right side. There it's all still open, but there you see your zipper nicely. That's how we want it. All right, here we go. Now we got the proper side facing us. And I made myself already a little pattern. You can see it lying on the left side. It is 4.5 centimeters wide, because now I start there where my zipper is. I put my pattern that I made myself onto the edge of the ironed over edge, and I will just stitch along now along that pattern. I can feel when I put my hand on top of the side, I can feel where my seam is. I know I will catch it while stitching over, because I had a 5 centimeter that I ironed over, and my pattern is 4.5. That means I'm grabbing all materials now and using this pattern. As you can see here, what is so good about it, you got 3 different materials lying here now together. And you got the zipper there, but nothing will move because this pattern is holding it all in position. And before I get to the end, I stop early enough, put my pattern the opposite way as you just saw, because then I know, okay, I maybe have to do one more stitch, or I'm there already to exactly put my pattern against my needle now. Don't stitch over it. It's only the needle is going along the edge of your pattern. And it makes it so easy. Just watch me. There isn't one pin in anywhere in this whole sewing, and I don't need to do anything but hold it flat down, put the pattern on, and stitch evenly and nice and slow along with your machine. That needs one more stitch there. Then I turn it. My needle is always down in the material when I turn a corner, which is so important as well. Otherwise, it will slip and slide all over the place and you don't have a clean looking seam at the end. All right, again here towards the end, I make sure to finish early enough. I put my pattern, which is also like a measurement, and I see I need another stitch again, and there I go around and do my third side. I think that's the third side. Yeah, that's the third side already. And now you will see when I come around the corner. When I started doing this stitching on all the way around, I did not do a back and forth stitching. Now you just watched me opening the zipper, otherwise I will not be able to get past with my foot. And I need another 2.5 stitches about there. And now you can see my seam, which I only started without stitching back and forth, because it's much nicer now if I just stitch another 3 or 4 stitches over the first one where I started. It's a much neater and cleaner seam than going back and forth all the time with the sewing machine. All right, that is my right side, that's my left side. You can check it if you're satisfied. Again, always as I'm saying, check if you're satisfied with your own job. You could go to the ironing now if you wished, or you do what I do. You take your other right angled cut piece from the beginning, which you haven't done anything with yet. Then you make the decision which side of your material you wish to like to use for the outside, for the right side. I opened the zipper because after I've stitched all the way around here now, it would be difficult to open it if it isn't open before I stitch all the way around here. So it doesn't matter where you start now, as you should have 4 sides that are still all 42 centimeters long. And you go all the way around no matter where you start, but that is necessary. As soon as you've gone around that, you should go to your zigzag machine or to your overlock, if you got one, to clean those 4 edges off, because I mentioned before, maybe you would like to wash this quite often, this little case, and then it is important that it's cleaned off inside. There we go. I've been to my overlock machine, cleaned it off. Now those corners I will not cut out. I leave them in, again for the reason for washing. And this material is a satin material. It doesn't matter anyway. It's so thin, it's so smooth. I can really very well push those corners through. I usually do this with my fingernails. I put my thumb fingernail inside, and from my middle finger, the nail, I push against it. And as you can see, it's almost finished out. And if it isn't, I take some sharp tool that I got lying around, as the scissors as an example, and push the rest out. So there you go. You got one side of your cushion totally plain. The other side, you got this special design with these special corners. Now you can make this decision, if you make an extra loop for it, to put in any position on this cushion where you would like to have it, or you leave it off. All up to you. But I think if it's a show cushion, it really looks nice to put some extra little accessoire onto it. So all I got to do now is take my actual filling, the actual cushion, and put it inside, and it will look totally different again, as you can see here already. And there you go. There is your hidden away zipper for any purpose that you need it for. And I think my girlfriend is really going to like this particular cushion, as it's from the leftovers from her curtains, as I think I mentioned before. And it fits exactly with that. And she can use either side, if it's got to be showy or if it's just got to be a plain cushion, as she wished. Now all you have to do is choose a really nice position where it feels comfortable, and you're gonna like it, and you can cozy cushel into this lovely little cushion. Well, my friends, I hope you enjoyed my little tutorial. I'm looking forward to all your nice comments from all over the world, as I know some of you are really at the end of this world watching my videos. Thank you so much, and I'm so happy you found me. I say goodbye. Yours, Lilo. Tschüss.